Hi, and welcome back to this week's Parsha Shir on Sefer Netivot Shalom. This Shabbos is known as Shabbos Chazon because of the Haftorah which we read this Shabbos from Sefer Yeshayahu, which begins with the words Chazon Yeshayahu ben Amos. And it is the Shabbos that leads us into Tisha B'Av. This year, actually, the date of the 9th of Av falls on Shabbos and is pushed off to Sunday when we commemorate the fast of Tisha B'Av and the destruction of Tisha B'Av. But it's the Shabbos that leads us into that spirit and really sets the tone for Tisha B'Av itself. And Netivot Shalom wonders about the name of Shabbos Chazon. He says, Hinei lashon ze Chazon, eino matzui b'shar neviim. This is a unique expression here in Yeshayahu of Chazon, which doesn't appear in the other Sifrei Nevi'im. V'tzarech biur. B'amen isyachta nevuas Yeshayahu mikol nevi'im shenikres b'shem Chazon. Why is Yeshayahu singled out as the prophecy of Chazon? V'arei kula divrei musar v'tochacha. After all, the entire Haftorah, if you look at it, which is why it's the Haftorah for Erev Tisha B'Av, or the week of Tisha B'Av, it's filled with Musar, it's filled with rebuke, it's filled with anger, Jewish people for their countless mistakes. So why is it called Shabbos Chazon, the Shabbos of a vision? Vision we imagine to be something positive, something beautiful, and yet it's filled with Musar and Tochacha. Banim gidalti v'romamti v'heim tashubi. The most accusatory, perhaps, pasuk of the whole Haftorah is that God raised children, Jewish people, and they betrayed him. They sinned against him. Why is this tochacha, this musar, specifically stated in the language of Chazon? And furthermore, why is the Shabbos called Shabbos Chazon after this strange pairing of terms and of themes in the Haftorah? He says, we're going to answer this question based on a beautiful idea from the Sefer Pri Haaretz. Which raises a different question, not a question about Shabbos Chazon, not a question about the Haftorah, but really a question about Tisha B'Av itself. We know in Kabbalistic thought, and Hasidic thought, and Jewish thought, that actually the strongest barrier to HaKadosh Baruch Hu is atzvus, it's sadness, it's avelos, it's depression. Sharei ha'avoda zara nikrei al shema. Atzabeim kesev izav, cute play on the word. He says even the idolatry of the world is called atzabehem kesev izav. Their idols, their statues are called atzabeim, which is the same root, the same word as etzev, which means sadness. Sadness is in the realm of idolatry. It's what separates us from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Sadness and deep depression has no connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We believe that only joy and gladness and simcha is in the realm of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We believe the Shechina only comes down into us and down into the world in a place of simcha, in a place of joy and happiness. So he says, Mevar al pi divrei hamedrash, ala pasuk ki Hashem hogal rov psha'ah, yachol al magen tamulomar al rov psha'ah. He says, there's a strange question about the fact that we mourn for the Beis HaMikdash itself. Number one, mourning and atzvus is what takes us away from Hashem. And what we're trying to do when we mourn the temple is mourn our loss of relationship with Hashem. If we're trying to become closer to Hashem as a corrective measure for losing the Beis HaMikdash, then we should do it through joy and celebration, not through sadness and not through depression, not through avelos, which is something that separates us from God. And in addition to that, how does it even make sense to mourn? Ma shayach eva v'yagon ma shehaya. Why are we still crying for something that's absent, that's something that doesn't exist anymore? Something in your face disappears, is destroyed. Okay, there's reason to be sad, there's reason to cry. But something that happened so long ago, it's long in the past. Why are we still crying for it? Ki masha avar ayin. What is in the past is over. K'mo she'amar David HaMelech, acharei mos hayeled, lama ze ani tzam ha'uchal lahashivo. David HaMelech says, why am I fasting? Can I really bring him back? And in our context, can we really bring the Beis HaMikdash back by fasting? Zoi kavana shelas hamedrash yachol amagen, pirush ha'avelus ha'Beis HaMikdash yal chinam, shemisa'alim ha'avar, shehi ve'enenu, shahaya ve'enenu. The past is the past. What's the point of mourning further? The answer the Medrash gives to this fundamental question about our mourning for the loss of the Beis HaMikdash, which happened so long ago, is that what we're really mourning for is Rob Sha'ah, the majority of the faults and mistakes of the Jewish people. Hainu Kamamar Chazal, Kol Shelo Nivna Beis HaMikdash B'Yamav Kilu Nechrav B'Yamav. What we're really mourning for in the language of Chazal is the fact that every generation where the Beis HaMikdash is not rebuilt is like a generation which destroyed the Beis HaMikdash. If we haven't done enough to bring the Beis HaMikdash back, then we are responsible in our time, in our generation, not in the past, but in our time, for its destruction and its inability to return to the world. The avelus, the sadness, is not something for the past, it's something now in the present, at our failed opportunity, our missed opportunity, our failed ability to actually bring the Beis HaMikdash back. The whole purpose of the avelus of Tisha B'Av is not for the past, but to spur us to tshuva in the present. To mourn the fact that we have caused such distance between us and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's our understanding of the sadness of this period. Even though sadness takes us away from Hashem, our sadness is for something now in the moment. It's not something we're trying to put on, something we're trying to relive of our past, which would be counterproductive because we're trying to come closer to Hashem. But it's something we're experiencing right now. It's not fake. It's not put on. It's not something simulated. It's something we feel right now at the loss of our relationship now with Hashem, at our failed opportunity now to bring the Beis HaMikdash back, at our mistakes and our faults of our time and our generation. That's what we're shocked into sadness about during this time period. Okay, with that understanding, we have to realize that the pathway out of that sadness, out of that shock, the corrective measure is, of course, tshuva. V'hinei b'inyan tshuva bi'arnu sheyesh beis drachim. Yesh es haderech shel shtur mera v'aseh tov, shereis yistarech lasko v'sur mera lakor sarah achar kach aseh tov. One of the pathways is sur mera v'aseh tov. You take away the bad, and then you start to do more good. That's one pathway. Ki kol zman she'od yesh bo ra'ino yachol lavo la'aseh tov. Because sometimes, in order to get to the good, in order to do good and effectuate good, you have to take away the bad. The bad is a barrier, it's a prevention. So you take that away. Once that's cleared away, you can do good. Like in a roadway, you're trying to travel somewhere, trying to get to destination X, which is a wonderful place. There's a barrier in the road. You have to clear the barrier in order to go forward. V'yesh od derech ilais, but there's an even greater path, a more lofty path. K'mo shepirshu tzadikim sur meira al yedei she'aseh tov. Perhaps the understanding of the pasuk sur meira ve'aseh tov is not that first you take away the bad and then you do the good actively, but rather sur meira al yedei aseh tov, that you immediately eliminate the bad by overwhelming the bad with good. Instead of starting your pathway and working hard and trudging to try to take away the bad and only then start to actively do good, maybe the pathway is start doing good. Forget about all the bad, forget about all the mistakes, just start doing good and more good and more good. And that will snowball so much that it will naturally clear away any opportunities for bad. That's the greater form of tshuva. And now Netivot Shalom says, with those pieces of understanding of the avelus of the Churban being in the present, understanding that we're not trying to distance ourselves through sadness from Hashem, but that the sadness comes upon us because of the shock of, look what we're doing, look at the missed opportunities. And the understanding that the pathway out of that circumstance, out of that avelus, out of that sadness is tshuva. And understanding that the greatest form of tshuva is not to first fix all the mistakes and work so hard and then start to do good, but to do good right away, so much good that it clears away the bad. Now, says Netivot Shalom, we can come back to our original question, understand the title of Shabbos Chazon given to this Shabbos, which leads into Tisha B'Av, and the language of Chazon implanted, vision, implanted in a Haftorah which is so filled with Musar and Tochacha, with so much rebuke. V'hizeh inyan Chazon Yeshayahu, mashmaus Chazon shemedaber gedolos l'malam min haseichel. The idea of vision, of Chazon, is that Yeshayahu is going to present us things that are so lofty, so beautiful, so unbelievable that you can't even imagine them. And then what does he do? He gives us Musar, slaps us in the face. That's Gedolos, that's Elois, that's Chazon? Doesn't make any sense. That was the original question of Netivot Shalom. But no, now we understand it better. HaChazon hu kmo shenemar sham. The Chazon, latent within the rebuke of the Psukim, is the following word. Banim gidalti veromamti vehem pashupi. My children, who I raised and who I elevated, they faulted, they defaulted, they rebelled against me. Then the word banim is the Chazon, says Netivot Shalom. The fact that the word banim, v'chein zera mereim, banim mashchitim, the word banim continues to appear and to reappear in the Haftorah. And what that means, says Netivot Shalom, is Hashem promises us that no matter what, in all circumstances, no matter how far we've strayed, no matter how distanced we feel, no matter how badly we mess up, we are always banim atem Lashem Elokechem. We are always considered the children of God. We are always considered intrinsically connected to HaKadosh Baruch Hu in the deepest of ways, like the familial connection of parent and child, a connection that can never be severed, a connection that can never go away. Maybe it's not felt in every moment, maybe it's not witnessed in every moment, maybe it's not realized in every moment, but deep down inside, that purity is there, that connection is there, that relationship is always, always there, forever and all eternity. That is the promise of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that is the Chazon. And that is the Chazon that leads us to tshuva out of this moment of Avelos. Because, according to Netivot Shalom, the Chazon, the grand vision we're supposed to see in our deepest, darkest moments of mourning, of rebuke, of chastisement, of sadness that we in our generation have failed to bring the Beis HaMikdash, and we in our generation feel so distant from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the grand vision is supposed to be, wow, we are Banim Atem Hashem Elokechem. Whether we realize it or not, we have infinite potential to be better. We have infinite potential to grow. We are intrinsically, whether we see it or not, connected in the deepest way to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And if a person realizes that, a person sees that Chazon, sees that vision, then they automatically will be aseh tov. They will do so much good. They will rise to their potential. They will fulfill their potential. They will do more and more to bring out that connection which already exists between them and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And if they do that, if we do that, it will overwhelm us with such good that we will automatically be sur merah. We will automatically clear the evil and the mistakes of our pathway. And in that way, we will fulfill the tshuva ilais, the highest form of tshuva. Not the tshuva where we try so hard and expend so much energy to be sur merah, with the very, very slim hope of eventually being able to do aseh tov, but rather be doing so much aseh tov, so much good, so much connection, so much power of spirituality, that naturally the bad will just dissipate and will be meaningless to us. We will never go back to it again. We realize our true potential, our God-given potential that's already latent within us, hopefully bring it to fruition, concretize it in our world, overwhelm our world with good, so that we may not only do tshuva and come closer to Hashem, but also change this time period from a time of avelus and sadness to a time of ultimate joy. B'bias HaMashiach b'mheira b'yameinu, as we see not only the rebuilding of the Beis HaMikdash, but ultimately, and most importantly, the renewed connection, the felt connection between us and HaKadosh Baruch Hu forever. Shabbat Shalom.